Hey guys, I just wanted to give a real quick tutorial on how you can go online and practice the tools that will be on your Georgia Milestones assessment. So how to get there, you're going to go to gaexperienceonline.com and then you are going to go down to test practice. Okay, tutorial will give you the video of this, but it's going to show you how to go to an EOC, which is in the course, and we don't want to do that. We're going to go to end of grade, so this is what this video is for. So test practice. Okay, end of grade, EOG, and we're looking to be trained on the types of tools. There are several differences in some of the more technology advanced tools of GMAS for this year. EOG test practice, and we're going to do the standard online tools. Grades 6 through 8. Now, if you look right above, it gives you a username and password, and we're going to type that in. And then it's going to show up training student. Hit continue. Grades 6 through 8, test practice. This is just for training. And then we're going to see the directions pop up. And remember, this is not scored. This is just practice for students to feel comfortable using the tools of the test. So it shows you how to, the difference of the pointer, the next button, and how to flag a question if you want to come back to it later. And then if you want to review the test before you submitted it, then that's the directions that would give you those instructions. So your tools include a pointer, which is what we're using right now, cross off, highlighter, sticky note, magnifier, line guide, calculator, and references. And I will show you those inside of the practice test. Okay, so it reminds your students that they need to review their answers before submitting. And we're going to begin the test. Remember, this is not graded. So let's look at our tools very quickly in the ELA questions. First of all, you see the pointer, which is what we're using right now. Then you have a cross-off tool, which will allow you to cross off whatever selection you do not believe is the answer, so that you can sort of narrow down some of the options. Then you have a highlighter. Use highlighter, and you can then highlight. If you don't like what you've highlighted, you just go back and clear all. Okay? Then if you wanted to make notation of something, you could always include a sticky note of, like if you wanted to put, it says that it is a short constructive response, then maybe this is looking for a race paragraph. Okay? Or something like that. Okay? And if you don't like the note, maybe I go back and say, oh, never mind, they're not looking for that, then I would just trash it or delete it. Okay? Also, maybe if the text is small, I can always come up to the magnifier option, and I can turn that on, and it makes the text larger. Okay? And of course, if I want to turn that back off, I'm going to click the magnifier again and just turn it off. Now, if I have a hard time focusing, or maybe when I'm answering a question, because there will be several questions for each text, and I forget where in the text I'm at, I can use a line guide, and a line guide will actually let you follow along where you're reading. And you can stop and answer your question, and then you know exactly where you've left off. So that's an option for your language arts tools. How to flip the page in your text. You're simply, let's turn off our line guide real quick. You're going to simply flip on the right side to go forward and the left to go back. Pretty simple. Okay? Now, in your constructed response, short constructed response, you may want to type something here, practice with your cut and paste options, or to undo, and that kind of stuff is good practice. For your actual essays, there is a checklist that you would see almost like a rubric. This is what you have to include to get full credit. So please make sure your student is looking at that. This is a drag and drop question. And if they put one that they want to change, they can always change it around. Here's a whole nother text that we're going to have to read. make our annotations or our highlights or those kind of things. This is a Part A and a Part B question. So Part A is the actual question, and Part B is what evidence supports our answer to Part A. Same thing, we have another rubric. This one's for narrative writing. A summary, we're looking for what was the sequence of the story. You have a drop-down menu. Then we're going to go on to our math practice. And remember, this is just tools. And you can, same thing, you can use these also in math. But you don't have to. You just click it twice if you're going to take it off. If you needed a calculator, there's two different calculators. In 6th grade, they use the basic calculator. And 7th and 8th uses a scientific calculator. So you may want to practice with that. And if you needed some formula sheets, you have one for 6th grade, one for 7th grade, and one for 8th grade. So you can look at whatever grade would be appropriate for your student. So there's your math questions. This is a great chance for them to practice actually writing out formulas using this fraction bar, maybe something they're not as familiar with. This is asking for 3 different statements. So this would be a good time for us to use that cross out and say, okay, I know it can't be this one. Part A and Part B in math. We are looking to create, so draw. So we are trying now to go down to our line. It shows us how to do our line. These are good things for us to practice with as well. This is another drag and drop. Also a drag and drop. Same thing here. Okay, now this is going in to actually creating a chart. And if you wanted to change that, you're simply just doing this. If you want to start all over, here's your eraser tool. Graphing, same thing. You're going from point A to point B. But it's great to practice these. Drop down. We're looking at science. You do have a periodic table included in your tools, and that will be in, this is exactly what you'll see at GMAS. So they'll be able to then fill out the test instructions in a sequence that makes sense. And also, what's the difference between an observation and a conclusion in labs? Okay, they're doing, again, can you read this graph? And you're going to be putting in the letters that coordinate with the graph. Okay, now we're looking at social studies. You will not take science and social studies portion of GMAS unless your student is an 8th grader. So where's the state of Georgia? And you would find that on a world map. This is a Part A, Part B question. And remember, you can always go back and read Part A if it helps. This is a drag and drop and a drop down. Same thing, but we're having to drag and drop, which is something that we haven't seen that much of before. So this is something they're trying to do with organizers to make it a little bit more interactive for these students. And of course, this would be like some steps, so you're going in sequential order. Okay, at the very end of the test, it will show you which ones we answered, which ones we didn't, and which ones, if it's something we didn't do, we might need to go back and complete that. So anything that we need to review, we could do that, return to those questions, or end the test. So that is your practice test, and it gives great examples and a wonderful chance for us to use those tools. So please tell your students, this is not about being right on the question because it's not graded. It's just about using those tools so we can be comfortable during the test. I hope this helps, and have a great day.